Hey, Tony Guys is here. Y'all gotta forgive me because my light off in this room and it just the light of the TV shining. So a little darker than normal, but I'm comfortable. Feeling good. My wife, she out with my sister. They at a concert that my sister had booked and then didn't have anybody to go with her, so asked my wife to go. So I had to get on my sister like, listen, man, you costing us money that wasn't planned in our budget. But, you know, good them let their hair down, being moms, being able to let their hair down. But I wanted to pop on here. I did a video earlier today. I went live on Instagram. So if you're not on my Instagram, it's my name, Tony Gaskins, and you can watch it. This will just be a little miniature version of it. Essentially, I was talking about what I was talking about the other day, not too long ago, where I was discussing how it's a lot of women today are getting very, very superficial and taking it super overboard with the means that a man has to have in order for a woman to want to be with him. And I'm here to warn y'all, being a man and knowing men, that's a huge, huge mistake. It's a huge mistake to make it known or to be of the mindset and to go into a new relationship, this situation with a man as with this kind of idea of, oh, he has to have this, and this in order for you to respect him or like him or what have you. And the reason I say that is because the last thing you have to think about it. And I really want you to ask yourself, what man do you know wants someone to freeload? What human? The same way as a woman, you wouldn't want to have more than a man and him just come up and live off of you. The same thing goes when a woman goes and requests and has this requirement that a man has more than her. And even with the young lady, which I have to look up her name, who said she wouldn't date a bus driver unless he owns the bus. Well, that man could then look at her if he owns the bus and say, well, what do you own? Because you working on a job as a reporter or a host, and Don Lemon got fired. Jake Tapper got fired. Bill O'Reilly got fired. Steve Harvey got fired. So your job ain't secure. So you could go and get with me who own this here bus and then be fired tomorrow. And it don't mean you're going to get picked up again. Because if one network fire you, the next one may say, well, she got fired for a reason. So the man could then say, well, hey, what have you created that you can't be fired from? What do you own that you could drive? And that's what's going to happen in this day and age. And the reason why it's going to happen, I'm not saying that that's what should happen. I'm not saying that that's what's right. But what I'm saying is that's what's going to happen because of social media. So this is a way that women have probably felt since the beginning of time. A woman has always wanted a man to be in position and to be able to provide. But the thing about it is it wasn't broadcasted. It was an unwritten requirement. It was an unwritten rule. It was something that you knew, but it's one thing to kind of know it and it not be expressly stated, and another thing for it to be rubbed in your face. So because of the media and because of social media and because of these podcasts, it is now making men, single men of today, feel like they are only seen as a meal ticket. And here's the thing that I know and that a lot of men know. So I've had several women who earn six figures, some seven figures, come to me and say, Tony, I'm tired. I'm tired of hustling. I'm tired of being this go-getter. I want to be able to rest in my femininity. So they are associating femininity with not having to go out and hunt, eat what you kill, basically. And they're associating femininity as being taken care of and being able to do what they want to do, when they want to do it, how they want to do it, if they want to do it, and equating that as femininity, but then looking at masculinity as the person who is on constant grind mode, going out and hunting. I'm here to tell you, as a man who is very ambitious, and let me help you understand ambitious. I have over 60 online courses. I have over 1,000 YouTube videos. I've written about 20 books for myself, and I've ghostwritten countless other books. I've had maybe 20 different companies. Right now, I may have between 7 to 10. I need to count them. So I am extremely ambitious. I am a go-getter, and I'm always working on 5 things at one time. But let me tell you something. It gets tiring. Being a hunter, being a hustler, being a go-getter, being what they would call a breadwinner, being a provider, it is equally as tiring. A man is a human too. It is very tiring, and that's why almost every man that's why every man has some type of vice, has some type of wind down. Some men's vice is a little more toxic than others, but like right now I got a boxing match on, and I'm just kicked back, and I'm shooting this video while my wife is in Las Vegas at the concert, and she living it up. They having a good time, and the work that I put in is able to provide that, and I could rest in that. If that's masculinity and what she is doing is femininity, so be it. And I drove my son 3.5 hours to a soccer game today. The game was about 2-3 hours, then drove back 3.5 hours. So I'd have been driving 7 hours today. You see what I'm saying? So you have to realize that it's also tiring being in your masculine as a man. And this is what we are expected to do and called to do, but we're human just like a woman. And so no man wants to build equity and have resources and then just have a woman come in and feel entitled to what he has put blood, sweat, and tears into, and saying, you got to own this, or you got to have this, or you got to have that in order for me to be with you. But then that woman be barely getting by, paycheck to paycheck, could go to work tomorrow and be fired. You can't really go and require something like that when you don't have that type of security. Because I met a young man, he said he wanted to be an entrepreneur because he watched his dad slave for this company for 20 years and get laid off just out of the blue. And he was like, I never want to dedicate my life to a company that could lay me off on a whim. And that's how that works. And so if a woman is in that situation and she working for somebody else, but yet she going in and requiring that a man have his own and have all of this stuff going, and that's why I say you have to let a man's character be his currency. Because you could meet a man and he could talk nice, sound nice, look nice, walk nice, dress nice, and be making $500,000. And then in 6 months be out of work. The job let him go. They fire him. If he playing sports, he gets cut. And now he back at square one. And if he doesn't have profound character, he's going to be a bum. He's going to be living off of you. And that's what happened to a lot of women who go in with that mindset. Oh, I'm going to get a man with money. I'm going to get a man with money and get a man with resources. When all of that is smoke and mirrors. It's smoke and mirrors. Like, none of it is real. Like, men have made $100 million and went broke. It's all smoke and mirrors. There's no such thing as security, financial security. There's no such thing as financial security. Because in a moment's notice, life can happen and you could lose everything. So what brings security? A man's character. And it takes time to get to know a man's character. It may take 6 months minimum to see how this man is built, what this man is made of. And the thing about character, like Zig Ziglar says, character can earn any amount of money, but no amount of money can buy character. So this man could literally be making $50,000 this year. I was making $20,000 on a job, started my own company and made $36,000 in my own company. Got off my job because of my character and how I carry myself and who I had been over the years. Got an investment of $35,000, which took me off my job because my job paid me $20,000 a year. And that next year, I earned $147,000. So imagine had my wife quit on me. Imagine had she said, oh, because my grown, musky man of character who is living for God and serving God only makes $20,000 a year, and we grown, got our own place, got our own cars, got a child, got to pay bills, insurance, and my grown, musky man only making $20,000 working in a group home, helping the least likely, helping the isolated, the abandoned, the forgotten, loving on these individuals that the world has thrown away. Here, my man of character is making $20,000 doing this job. I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm grown. I got a child. I need more. Imagine had she left right before that 150,000. And guess what? After that 150,000, it kept going up and up and up and up. You hear what I'm telling you? So that's what I'm talking about, is recognizing character. And you really have to shut up and listen. Just throw out all these excuses, all these caveats and nuances. Oh, well, that only makes sense if a man in his 20s. No, it could make sense. Uh-oh, y'all gotta forgive me because my AirPod is saying that my AirPod is connected. Y'all gotta forgive me. I wonder where my AirPod is. So imagine my wife saying, I'm done. Guess what? Because of my character, because of my heart after God, I was able to climb. And if you really listen, if women really listen to men talk and stop just opening your ears to argue, listen to people tell their story. And what you're going to notice, a lot of men don't become wealthy until their 50s. Before that, it's not real money. Before that, it's income, but it's not wealth. It's not financial security. A lot of men are not financially secure until like 55 years old, 60 years old. So that needs to be understood. And what I'm telling you is you will not go wrong if you bet on a man's character. If you bet on a half decent man with money, you're going to fail. But if you bet on a pristine man of character, impeccable character, it doesn't matter where his money is at. As long as he is working and willing to work and ambitious, you're going to win. That man is going to climb and you're going to win. So the thing about it is as a woman, make sure you have your own when you come into the situation. And make sure that if you sit down to have kids or whatever, that you can go back to your own if that man fall on hard times. Because you could get with a man with money and then he is disabled. He becomes disabled and he can no longer work. So what do? Leave them then? Because your main requirement was financial stability. So then you're gonna leave them? Then how does that make you look as a person? And then it's like, oh well, no, that's different because now at that point I'm gonna love him and we together and we in this together. And when he was making money, I'm gonna be helping him put up. It ain't no such thing as financial. It don't matter what you put up. Money will be gone in an instant. Medical bills will wipe you out just like that. But if that man got character, if the man has character, guess what? Somebody gonna give him a grant. Somebody gonna have him mailbox money. Somebody gonna create a job for him. If he got character, he gonna have disability insurance. If he got character, he gonna be moving differently to where if he can't talk, they gonna give him a job typing. If he can't type, they gonna give him a job talking. Whatever he dealing with, he will have friends who are wealthy come and say, I got you. Because this man right here never did me wrong. He always was there for me. Y'all good. See, that's the one thing that you're going to be able to count on is character. And that's why I say let a man's character be his currency. And don't just focus on his money. And here's the thing. You're never going to find a man with both. Because if a man has money and he doesn't have a woman, that means that he is still growing in another area. That means you still going to have to build him. But you're not going to be building him in the easy area, which is money, building with him in the area of finances. Now, if a man has money and he's single and he's over 30, 40, 50, why do you think that is when there's so many women? That means there's another part of his life that is underdeveloped. And I guarantee you, helping a man build emotionally or spiritually is going to be way more draining and a lot less entertaining, a lot less fun than helping a man build financially, where y'all could do business together. You could dream, you could plan, you could brainstorm, and you could build wealth. That's going to be the least of your problems. Having a man who is an emotional wreck or he's super immature, super jaded, doesn't know how to love. So that's what you have to realize, because if a man has everything, he would not be single. So you're going to be helping him build in one area of another. I know guys who have great character and they make money and they own their own business. But when they talk to me, they say, well, Tony, I'm not really sure I know how to love. I'm not really sure I understand this husband and wife thing, because I see how you move and I see what you do and I see how you sacrifice and I see how you selfless and I see how you give. And I don't know if I could do that, Tony. I don't know if I can, if my heart will allow me to do that. And guess what? That's exactly why they're single, because they still have to be developed in that area. And that is a much harder area to develop than trying to develop financially. Because honestly, I've seen women get with a man and get him into multi-level marketing, and the man go from a minimum wage entry-level job to making six figures a month. A month. I know a handful of men right now who are married men with supportive wives who literally was bumming jobs, just going like little raggedy jobs, and now make six figures a month in multi-level marketing from the love and the support of their wife. And now their wives in Rolls Royces, Range Rovers, G-Wagons, custom built houses from the ground up. But guess what? She was there with this 30-plus-year-old man in the apartment. But because he had a heart after God, a heart of ambition, because he wanted to do right, wanted to live right, and she saw that in him. And I've seen this in multiple cases, not only my own. So no human is completely developed. And even the woman coming into the relationship has to develop, has to learn how to love, or has to learn how to communicate, or has to learn what healthy submission is between a man and a woman, or has to learn how to tone down or how to pick it up. Everybody has to be developed in one area or another. So at the end of the day, it's a give and take on both ends. It's a give and take on both ends. So what I'm telling you as a man, because I am a man and I am developing as a man, meaning I'm building and growing daily, and I know men and I'm around men unfiltered, unadulterated, meaning I know the real about men that no woman on earth knows. And all men know it, but it's a man law and a man code, so that's why men don't tell it. But I'm here to tell you, it does not matter what man you get with, unless you could be with Jesus Christ, which is not possible, then you're going to have to build with this man. There is no such thing as a ready-made man, and contrary to popular belief, no matter how perfect you think you are, there is no such thing as a ready-made woman. Everybody is a work in progress. Everybody is a headache. Everybody is a case that has to be dealt with. Every single human being. No one has it all together. So if you have to build with a man, the easiest area to build will be financially. It will be a far greater challenge to help a man build spiritually, mentally, emotionally. I want you to look at men of means. I want you to do a study and go Google single millionaire men, single famous men, and look at the rappers, the producers, the actors, the athletes, the pastors, the politicians, everybody that you know is of means, make 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures. And I want you to look at this. And then I want you to ask yourself, okay, if this man has money, let's say you got with Tyler Perry. He's unmarried. And maybe he's in a relationship. Let's say you got with Tyler Perry. Let's say you got with Michael Strahan. Let's say you got with P. Diddy. Let's say you got with Kevin Durant. These different men from these different industries that are single men, meaning unmarried. They already got money. Do you think that's going to solve your problem just because they're a man of means? So if they got money and they single, then where do you think they are deficient at? And do you think it's going to be easier to help them build in that area where they are deficient? Or if they needed love and support as they're building their dream? Would it be easier to partner as a wife with a man like Tyler Perry and support him in his screenwriting and directing and producing and stage plays? Go back all the way to the beginning when he started with stage plays. Would that be more thrilling and fun and engaging and promising? Or do you think it'll be easier to help him build in the area of dealing with childhood trauma and abandonment and limiting beliefs? Like, have you ever coached someone? Have you ever mentored someone who is struggling with childhood trauma, with limiting beliefs, with emotional pain, spiritual retardation? Have you ever worked with someone in that capacity? That is the deepest, darkest work you'll ever do. Building with a man who doesn't have money or the amount of money you want him to have, that's going to be the easiest job you ever do, because the one thing that is easy for a man to do is make money when he believes in himself and someone else believes in him. So it could be as simple as encouraging him and saying, hey, you could do one thing about you. You are a genius. You just don't have the platform yet, but you're going to get it, and you can do anything you put your mind to. Do you know that 99.9% of men have never heard that in our lives? And do you know that hearing that one time from someone we love, and then let alone hearing it at once a month, do you know what kind of change that would make? Do you know what that does for a man? Oliver Wendell Holmes said, once the mind is stretched to a new dimension, it never returns to its original form. So when a man hears that he is capable, that he is worthy, that he is enough, do you know what type of battery in the back that is? You know what kind of boost of inspiration that is for that man? That's life changing. And the thing about it is, if men were celebrated and praised more, good men of character, women would get a whole lot more out of a man. But it's just, gratitude is a learned behavior. It's not something that is just, it's not, it doesn't just come normal. And then sometimes when a woman gets accustomed to something, she looks at it as normal. But no, it's still painstaking. So it's kind of like, as a woman, if you're taking care of kids, you never get to the point to where you say, I don't want to be thanked or appreciated for taking care of these kids. You always want to be thanked and appreciated. Same with a man. So if a man sets a goal and he hits that goal, we would love to get a cake with that number on it, or that goal, or say congrats. Just that thing, that cake might cost $12, but it'll be worth 12 million to that man, because men are not often praised and thanked and appreciated and respected without, being backhanded and disrespected in the next day or the next sentence. So you got to understand that. And that's why this character thing is so important. And I feel like what women are dealing with, it's a perversion. It's actually a perversion of the spirit. It's really spiritual warfare. So women are taking this thing as taking this approach of, oh, don't ask me to compromise for no man. Don't ask me to put up with a man who is broke. A man who isn't where he needs to be at 40 years old. That means he's not a man of character. That does not mean that. Because what that could mean is his industry of purpose does not pay like that. Because his purpose could be to be a school teacher who is graduating his students at a Title I school or whatever, or F school, whatever it's called. I don't know. But that terrible inner city school. And this man seeing these kids who have dodged bullets walk across that stage, whether it's 5th grade, 8th grade, or 12th grade, it brings tears to his eyes, just like it's bringing tears to my eyes just saying that. That does not mean that is less of a man because he's making a teacher's salary at 40. But guess what? There is a site where teachers make workbooks and worksheets and they sell it to other teachers. And parents can buy it too. You know how I know about that? Because of my wife. Because of a woman. So here you have this man of character, this man of purpose. He is busting his butt at this horrible school, and he's receiving no support from the school board. But then here you come in his life as a woman, and you say, hey, so what are you doing with these kids? Like, how are you helping them? And then he pulls out this worksheet, and he pulls out this goal sheet, and he pulls out this checklist. And you say, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. You created this? You made these? He said, yeah, I've been doing this 30 years. You would like to think I'd have made something. Hold on, do you know of the website such and such? I can't even say the website because my wife don't like me giving it away. She don't like me saying it. Do you know of the site such and such? No, I haven't heard of that. I'm in South Central LA. We ain't thinking about that. We trying not to get shot. Or wherever city you at. It might be in Memphis, Chicago, St. Louis, wherever you at. Miami, Broward County, Dade County. And say, hold on. Let's take this PDF. Let's upload it to this site. Let's put a price on it. And then let's boost it. Let's pay for it to be featured on the home page. This site was started by a man just like you. This man now is a multimillionaire. He was an inner city school teacher. He started this site to help teachers. It has made him a multimillionaire. But guess what? Some of the teachers on here selling their creations, making $70,000 a year from their PDF being sold, in addition to their teacher salary. Some of them didn't even walk away from teaching because the teacher wasn't really their passion. They were just doing it because it was a respectable occupation. So do you see how in 1 year, a woman could speak into a man's life? And so let me tell you this. If you are a woman who that's too much for you, then you're not fit to be a wife. If you're complaining about having to build with a man, if you're complaining about having to help a man grow, you're not fit to be a wife. What do you think the role of a wife is? A wife is a helpmeet. God didn't create a woman to be a wife, to be a freeloader. He didn't create a woman to just have kids. You still have to be a nurturer of your family. And that includes your husband. Because if he is all-knowing and completely self-sufficient, then God wouldn't have made a woman. And if you as a woman say that you are more than just an egg that reproduces, then what more are you if you don't want to build with a man? If you say, I'm not building no man, I'm not helping no man, a man need to be where he need to be, a man need to have this and have that, you're not fit to be a wife. What that also means is that you are hurting. And it means you need healing. It means that you need to heal, and you need to be intentional about your counseling and your coaching on a weekly basis until you can love as if you've never been hurt before. And until you can get to that point, you're not even ready to be a wife. You're not even ready to be in a relationship. Because contrary to popular belief, a woman is not the only one doing the building. Do you know what we have to do as husbands? As husbands, we have to be there and be that voice of reason. We have to be able to talk to our wives if she going through in the workplace or with her mom or with her dad or with her sister or with her friend. We got to be able to talk her off the ledge. We got to be able to look her in the eye, listen intently, and we have to engage with her and have our wife feel heard, feel seen, feel important. And guess what? That is very draining because providing is put on our shoulders and we are only seen as providers. So when you go into that mode, into that zone of being a provider, that is your focus 24/7. You don't want to hear about makeup tutorials. You don't want to hear about workplace drama. You don't want to hear about family drama. You don't want to hear about anything. But as good husbands, that's what we have to do. We got to put our phone down, pause the money making, although that's all is expected of us. And then we have to be attentive, intentional, patient, compassionate, responsive, communicative. We have to be all of these things that is outside of our nature. We are hunters. We are warriors. We are fighters. We are hustlers. We are go-getters. To sit and be attentive, to listen to, because when a woman is at peace and when a woman is taken care of, the stuff she talks about is the most meaningless stuff in the world, because the man is alleviating the problems from her life by being a provider emotionally, spiritually, mentally, financially. So the man is working towards that. And that takes time to get there. But while the man is working to be this complete and whole individual, we also would like to hope that our wife will support us in our climb, in our ascension to greatness, to where we want to be. And we feel like, so because my wife ate ramen noodles with me, I'm okay driving my son 7 hours today, even though I'm the quote unquote breadwinner, provider. I'm okay being the soccer dad while she's in Las Vegas at the Lovers and Friends concert with my sister. I'm okay. You know what I did last night? She texted me. She was like, hey, we're out. Your sister is trying on clothes at Zara, but I'm not texting with you because I'm trying to save my battery. I only got 20%. Her battery is less than mine. And I'm trying to save it so that I can book an Uber when we're done. I said, tell me your location and I'll book the Uber. And then I'll text you where to meet him and what time. She wrote me back and she said, okay. She told me her location. I went on Uber. I booked the Uber and told the Uber, asked him to wait. I said, hey, hold on, please. Wait. The man had to wait like 10, 15 minutes on my wife and my sister to get to him. Ubers do not do that. These people be angry. They doing all this driving. My wife said he was driving angry. When he dropped them off, the bill was, I think, $50. And it was really because of the wait time. I tipped him $50. So that's what we do as husbands. We look out and we make sure our woman is taken care of. So do you think we want to do all that, but then have a woman coming out her mouth talking about she don't want to help build us and she don't want to help and we ain't got this, we ain't got that? It's even now to this day to where I still be short on bills, even to this day. Because guess what? The more money you make, the more you spend. So the same is as a millionaire, I'll still be short on bills. So how you think I feel if we get hit with all of these bills? Like the other day, we got hit with a bill, $17,000, just woof, come out the account. Our son's tuition. Man, that thing hurt, man. And at the same time, I had a credit card due. Had to try to pay the balance before it report. $14,000 thing I had to pay. In one day, $30,000. Man, that thing hurt me, man. So how you think I feel if my wife then looked at me and said, you know what, you're not even a man. You can't even take care of the bills with ease. And even though you make $1 million plus, you still struggle with these bills and providing for this household. I'll be sliding the divorce paper across that table so fast. Do you hear me? But you know what? When things get tight, when there's a lot of bills going on, and I'm taking care of my family, you know what my wife do? She smile, she rub my back, she cook, she support me. We done had to go through eviction. We done had to go through repossession. And this after making six figures. After making six figures, we done had to give up a car. We done had to mess up credit. That's why I'm trying to tell y'all, you trying to pick a man talking about financial security, there is no such thing as financial security. There is no such thing as that. Ain't nobody secure, because guess what? The man, the richest man in the world, he owned like Louis Vuitton and all of that stuff. He's so rich because of he owned alcohol companies and fashion companies. That show you where our priorities as humans are. So the people who own vegetables or a vegetable company is not the richest man or woman in the world. The richest man in the world owns a bunch of vanity companies, fashion and alcohol. But guess what? If we go through a tough enough pandemic, if they put a regulation on how much alcohol could be bought, if the knockoff market go crazy and you can't tell the difference between the knockoff Louis Vuitton and the real Louis Vuitton, ain't nobody finna buy no real Louis Vuitton no more. If you can't tell the difference. If new, smaller brands start to become the rave and people just get off of Louis Vuitton because it's no longer the trend, guess what? That man could lose all his wealth as the richest man in the world. If that man put hands on his wife, he could lose all his wealth if he married. If that man get caught with drugs, he could lose all his wealth. One thing could cost him everything. Kanye West was sitting there talking about he in debt $53 million. Right before he got with Kim Kardashian, he was talking about he in debt $53 million. In debt $53 million. It's like, Kanye, how you done made all that money? How you done made tens of millions of dollars? You done made $100 million. How in the world you in debt $53 million? Guess who else gonna be in debt? Elon Musk done went broke. Jeff Bezos gonna be in debt because he trying to go to Mars. He's gonna end up in debt. Give it 10, 15 years. And these are trillionaires, multi-billionaires that can go broke. So even if you get with a millionaire, that ain't no money. I remember a guy reached out to me to borrow $2,000. And he was a millionaire. He had a contract that was public knowledge where he had made $2 to $4 million a year the 4 years prior to him asking me for $2,000 to pay his rent. There is no such thing as financial security. So your best bet is to focus only on character. If a man is on the couch, he doesn't have character. So we're not talking about the same thing. If a man is unwilling to work, he doesn't have character. We're not talking about the same thing. And I think that's where women keep getting lost, is you don't understand character. You don't understand what character means, what a man of character means. A man of character does not mean he's going to be rich when you meet him. It means he is capable of becoming rich. Now, he's already rich spiritually, emotionally, mentally. He's rich in the areas that matter. The least of the worries is money. That's the byproduct of being rich in those other areas. And that's just a matter of time. So your only focus needs to be is where is his character? Because if he has character, even if he's overweight, he's working to get the weight off. If he has character, even if he's out of work, he's working diligently to get a job or to create a job. Even if he doesn't make 100,000 or 70,000, if he has character, he can get there. He will get there. Sometimes what we need as humans is just someone on the outside looking in. So what I have to do as a husband, and this is what every good husband has to do, is we have to assure our wives that she's beautiful. That as her body is changing, as her metabolism is changing, as life is happening, we have to constantly, baby, so beautiful, baby, beautiful. What do you mean, do you look fat in that? Girl, you look good. If you don't get out of here, hey, girl, come on. Hey, girl, come on. Sit down. You can't go nowhere today. You can't go out the house looking like that. No, you can't. Hey, do me a favor. Go put you some sweatpants on. Ain't nowhere in the world I'm finna let you get out of the house like that. Shut up. Hush. Yeah, hush. You don't mean that. I mean, my wife be trying to hide that smile. She be trying to fight that smile. And I mess around. And I'm going to tell you what happened with me. I mess around and boost my wife confidence too high. Because she went through a season. She went through a little season. This just between us. I'm trying to help y'all understand what a husband do. She went through a season where she probably could have utilized a little more of the gym. But she didn't even know it. She didn't even realize it because of how big I blow her head up. That she had no, she literally went from being like an insecure person, which most humans are, to having no recognition of any flaws because I constantly poured into her, building her up, building her up, building her up, and building what had been stripped away from childhood, from mean girls, from the mean girls in elementary, the mean girls in middle school, the mean girls in high school, from family members, from other relationships, everything that had been stripped from her. I had to pour that in, pour that in, pour that in. And then when I made mistakes and I stripped her from my communication or the thing, my mood swings, my stress, my spiritual warfare, I had to go and correct that. So even as a husband, we're working. We are working. And as a good husband. And we don't get days off either. And so I want y'all ladies to understand that when you are compromising the dollar amount that you want a man to make, but he has amazing character, bulletproof character, and you're about to build with this man and help him in his dreams as he's helping you in your dreams so that y'all could be a power couple, I want you to understand this. If you're with a man of character, you're not the only one compromising. You're not the only one investing. You're not the only one that's sacrificing. You're not the only one that's building. He's going to be speaking into your life and building you in a different way because you are deficient as well. You have inadequacies as well. You have shortcomings as well. So just how you may be overlooking the dollar amount that he earns right now, he's also overlooking things about you. All your little personality quirks and your preconceived notions and the pain that you have from your childhood or your divorce or your last relationship, your little quirks and the little funny things about you. You don't want your food to touch, or you got to put your own sheets on the hotel bed, or you don't want his foot to touch yours, or he can't wear no beard, or he can't have locks, or you vegan, or you smack when you chew, or you got to clean up every single day, and he can't lay nothing down, and whatever your quirk is, and believe me, every human have little quirks about us that drive our spouse crazy. So I want you to understand, you're not the only one giving, and the reason why I'm putting this because it's gonna be some people who, instead of seeking to argue, because your toes stepped on, because you misunderstanding the message, thinking that you're being asked to take care of a bum, meaning just a man who is unwilling to do anything, to grow, to work, to try, to have any type of ambition. That is not what this is about. It's not what this is about. This is about understanding that you could meet a man who is 45 years old and makes $30,000 a year. And when you talk to this man and you start dating this man, you are going to realize that the only reason why he makes $35,000, $45,000, $30,000 is because of his blind spots that you can see clearly. That you can easily look and see how what he is doing for someone else or for this other company with a few $100s could have an LLC and have business cards and marketing himself and scale his gift. But he has never thought like that because he's by himself. He doesn't know he doesn't know what an LLC is. He doesn't know anything about entrepreneurship. He's had no one speak that into his life. And he has no one to believe in him. But he is all the way capable of being a multimillionaire or a 100,000aire if someone like you could just speak life into him and show him his blind spots and then support him on the way, because you already gainfully employed and you got a job and your job ain't going nowhere, Lord willing. So you're able to invest some little time and some support into his trade, his natural gift, his natural abilities that he just doesn't know how to scale. The fact that you know me, you able to say, hey, I don't know how to do this, but I know a business consultant that I listen to on YouTube who doesn't have a college degree, who doesn't have a mentor, who doesn't have a team, and earns 6 figures a month. I could connect you with him because every now and then he say in the video, hey, sessions are open. I'm opening limited sessions at this discounted rate. And he could walk you right through. Guess what? You are a resource. Even if you don't know how to do what he need done, you're a resource. So you know what? This man, he found me. And I believe it could have been through his wife. He found me. He joined my coaching. He did coaching with me. He joined my growth group. I'll put the link in the description for the growth group. I talked to them about starting nonprofits. We talked about starting nonprofits. We talked about getting grants. He started his nonprofit. He went with the company that I told him to go through to form his nonprofit. He formed it. Within a month, he secured some grants and some funding. Just like that. But guess what? Guess who right beside him? His woman. His woman. Supporting him, speaking life into him, okaying and approving his coaching, his one-on-one coaching fees and his growth group fee. His woman. Without her, he may not have had the faith. And guess when he's doing this? He's in his late 50s. He's in his late 50s or early 60s. He's doing this. This is what I'm trying to help y'all understand. And guess what? Now that he sees the vision and that he has hit the ground running, his foundation is going to bring in millions. And out of them millions, he will be able to legally and ethically be paid 6 figures. 6 figures, living a life of purpose and in the golden years of life. This is what I want you to understand. This is how this works. And that's why we are intended to be a team. So if you are a woman and you're saying, Tony, I'm not building a man. Guess what? You're not building a man. Y'all building each other because you ain't perfect either. So he's going to help you lose some of that weight that you want to lose. He's going to help you eat right. He's going to help you work on your vision board. He's going to help you work on your events, work on your nonprofit. Y'all are going to be helping each other. So When y'all get into bed and y'all sitting there and talking, y'all gonna talk 30 minutes about what he has going on in his company, and then 30 minutes about what you got going on in your company. And because you're helping him, he's gonna be joyous about helping you. And he actually gonna end up giving more help to you than you gonna give to him, because we are providers by nature. So I want you to understand, nobody is asking, no good person with character and integrity and with common sense, nobody's asking women to settle. Nobody's asking women to raise a man. Nobody's asking women to be taken advantage of. That's ignorant to even assume that, to even infer that, imply that. That's ignorance. Like, who would say that? What is being asked is what is required for a healthy and happy relationship. This is a non-negotiable. You gotta pour into each other, build each other, invest in each other, support each other. You got to, or you are not ready or fit for a relationship. And if you get in one, it will not work. It will not work. So, hey, listen to me. This Tony Gaskin. If you didn't get to sign up for one-on-one coaching this year, the growth group is still going on this year, throughout the rest of this year. Hopefully we get to keep it going next year. I will put the link in the description. It is a monthly group coaching. So we have a minimum of one group coaching call. It's a 2-hour call. We have a 30-minute to an hour teaching, and then we have open Q&A, where you get to ask your question and also hear everybody else's question. And if you can't make it, it is recorded. The audio is recorded and put into TonyGaskinsAcademy.com for you to listen to on your drive to work the next day, and as many times as you want to. You can write in and cancel anytime you want. If it's just you don't like it, it's not a fit for you, or finances have changed, just write in to support@TonyGask.com. As soon as I see the email, I log in and cancel your subscription. And voila, that's how it worked. But that's what I'm going to now, so that I could work intentionally with more people than just one-on-ones. I still do one-on-ones, but it's people who had already signed up in the first quarter of the year, meaning by March 31st. Right now, sessions are closed, but every now and then I'll make little exceptions if a person write in just seeming very, very adamant or desperate. And there's, but my one-on-ones are booked out to, like, I think the end of June right now. So I'm trying to do more focus on the group coaching. So join us. We're going deeper, get to meet other like-minded people, connect with other people, follow other people on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. But hey, this Tony Gaskins. Listen to this 2 or 3 more times. Get this in your spirit and try to seek to understand, then be understood. If you really listen to what I'm saying, you're going to hear that I'm pitching to you a win-win, not a lose-win. So, hey, God bless you. We'll talk soon.